your boy Dante Diesel, and you're now officially in the groove with my man
DJ Blue.
Let's get it.
You're lying here next to me.
Crazy.
Oh, what am I? You have no idea.
What's happening, Philly? What's going on? What's good with you? Happy New Year. Welcome back. Season 3 of Time for Another Groovy Moment. Big shout out to everybody tuning in from Facebook, Instagram, Twitch. We appreciate you guys. We glad to see you back. Today, don't have a guest, but we wanted to keep the show going. We wanted Season 3 to open up. So me and J-Rock going to go through a couple topics. You know, just chitting and chatting. Hopefully, you guys got some questions about whatever we talking about, or y'all want to throw a couple curveballs at us. We see if we can answer them, and just have a good time for a little bit on this Tuesday evening after the snowstorm. Shout out to all the teams still in the playoffs. You know, me and J-Rock, we rivals, but you know, we always respectful with it. So we already had our little shut up and sit down, sit on the couch, groove. Yeah, whatever. But shout out to everybody still in the playoffs. We rooting for y'all too. You know what I mean? Football is football, so I'm glad it's on for another couple weeks. Let me see. Pull my phone out because I got some topics tonight. Me and J-Rock going to dabble a little bit and talk about some electricity, sound, and DJing. Talk a little bit about starter sound systems. A little bit about picking the right gear. A little bit about expanding your services. And if y'all saw the flyer, that last topic about pricing, we may get to it, we may not, because that's you know, I don't know. Sometimes you got to have a formula, and everybody's formula don't meet everybody's formula, but we may touch on it. We see how much time we got. So with that said, I want to shout our sponsors out. Of course, you see the PV hat. Shout out to PV DJ, always got my back. You see the Wolo shirt, Wolo Entertainment. We only live once. Shout out to Nate G, Spin Bad, DJ Curtis, the original Wolo crew, and everybody that's represent us. Everybody, Paulie B, the first female of Wolo. Got to shout our first female DJ out. But appreciate you using us, guys, for the last 24 years. This year, 25. Definitely appreciate the love, support, and you guys calling our phones, man, when you want some entertainment. Also shouting out Super Bad Slides. You know my man, my bro, my little bro, DJ Doodles got them Super Bad Slides you can spend 45s on. And we spend 45s at Just Grooves, all 45 and vinyl Saturday, every third Saturday of the month. We just had one last Saturday. Opened that season up, season 4 for that. You know what I mean? Blessings keep coming, so we going to keep doing it. You know what I mean? Also got to shout out Surrey and Seed, our comic book. You know what I mean? My man Maurice Mander. That adventure rather, it's still out there. Go to surreyandseed.com. We got merch up there. Grab some merch, support the cause. And last but not least, the Just Groove t-shirts, which you can get at Just Grooves all 45 Vinyl Saturday, every third Saturday month at Sovereign Records. And if you catch me and I got one, you can get one. There you go. There go my man right there. You know what I mean? Mr. the El Generale. That's what I call him. El General. You know what I mean? So it's just one of them days, man. There's some snow out there. We just want to keep it going. Want to rap a little bit. We got Kev Nice. Kev Nice, what's up, baby? Hey, man, I missed that Zoom you had with the West Coast, man. But I'm trying to stay. How you say? I'm trying to keep my ear to the ground, as they say. So I know when things jump off. Want to try to see if I could be a part of that. If nothing else, just to support. But if I can come hang out. Definitely want to do that. You was on that podcast, right? On that Zoom.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So J-Rock will let me know what it's cracking for. But big shout outs to Kev Nice, the West Coast Cafe. They do it big up there, man. They got a lot of professionalism with how they do it, man. And they also have a following, man. So they definitely doing it right. Big shout out to Kev. Everybody else tuning in. Charles Blackwell. Finesse, what up? What's going on? Get at my man Charles Blackwell, man. He got some beats and things. He do that thing, that producing thing, man. So if you're looking for some beats or something like that, man, and he a dope DJ too. He young. He come up under Spin Bad. So, you know, he got some skills over there. But get at him if you into the beats and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody else tuning in. All right, so we're gonna start off with electricity, sound, and DJing. So y'all might say, well, what the hell that mean, Groove? Okay, well, I'm gonna try to explain it to you. Start out. J-Rock gonna jump in because, you know, J-Rock has that more technical thing because of what he do now with the sound for shows and everything like that. But basically, if we start out and keep it simple, electricity is what we need to run our sound and to DJ with. You know, gotta have electricity somehow, some way. So with electricity, the first thing you want to do is you want to get the proper power wires. I'm gonna start out there. So you want to run with 14 gauge at your minimum. The gauge is what what's the best way to say it? Holds the current, J-Rock, or gets the current to your gear.
Yeah, I don't do no 14 gauges.
No, I'm just saying that's the basics.
We ain't doing that.
Yeah, but I do 12 or 10.
Yeah, we ain't
Yeah,
doing
but
that.
I ain't want to just knock them upside the head because them expensive wires. You know what I mean? But you gotta pay to play. You right about that. I can't knock that. However, we're gonna think or put like this. J-Rock gonna give you the advanced version. I'm gonna give you the beginner version. That way, you know, you'll get two of the same things on each level. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say, if your pockets is light or you don't know, you got a bunch of wires already, you should be able to read on the wire. You'll see a 12A, was it AGW or AWG? Yeah, so that'll tell you what the gauge is. So if you see a 12 AWG, or you probably don't see a 10 because I know they're expensive, but you might see a 14. If you see 16, don't plug nothing in but your laptop, maybe your controller, and then make sure you plug that into something that's plugged into at least a 12 gauge line. That's the minimum you can go is 14 and still be solid as far as your sound. Julio Bass, what up, Bass? How low can you go? Yeah, what up, Bass?
It's cracking.
You know what I mean? So when you're looking at those wires, so now again, 14 gauge being my minimum, because I do have some 14 gauge wires, and I use them mainly, like I said, for my controller and laptop connections out of my power strip. We'll get to the power strip part in a minute. But you want to go 12 gauge minimum, like J-Rock said. 10 gauge is the best. You can't go wrong with 10 gauge on nothing you're trying to do. If you're using generators, you definitely want to go with the 3-prong adapter. I don't know if it's adapter cord, but it's a funny looking 3-prong. Like one go left, one go right, one go straight. And you want that to be 10 gauge. And then on the other end, you can have your regular 3-prong for your regular cords, if you know what I'm saying. I forgot to bring some stuff so you can look at. But anyway, so now that's your power cords. When you get into using power conditioners or power strips, you want to get power strips, number one, that have some type of guarantee for the joules. Did I say that word right? So you want to, again, we're talking about spending a couple dollars. If you have the basic power strips from Walmart, you definitely want to get the ones when you push the little red button, it light up, because there's a reset button on that. If it's just a red button, it's plastic, and you don't know if it's on or not until you push it one way or the other, as J-Rock say, you know what I mean? You might want to just make sure that maybe if you got a tablet, you want to plug your tablet into that one. But for your gear, whether you running your laptop and your controller, especially for your gear for any amplifiers or powered speakers, you want to have, to me, I use Furman. I like Furman, so I have Furman power strips. I have Belkin, which is also built for protecting your computer gear, like your computers and everything that goes with computers, your TV, you know, all of those come with, I believe, 15,000 joules or more that they recommend they can protect you from. And joules is basically the shock that's going to happen if you happen to get a what's the word I'm looking for, J-Rock? If you happen to get a jolt, there you go. You know what I mean? Or you get what's called surge, power surge. That's why they call surge protectors. So you want to be around 15,000 joules or higher. You want to make sure that they have a guarantee with that. Usually with the guarantee, they guarantee up, depends on who you get it from, how many joules it is. they guarantee anywhere from $2,000 to maybe $10,000. When you get to J-Rock level, it's probably a little bit more than that. They'll guarantee that should nothing happen.
And it's good to be tapping, like, I made it's good to be talking about this. I made a post a little while back about, I can't remember exactly how it was worded, but people took it out of context.
Oh, I think I know the one you're talking about. I can't remember how it's worded either, but
Like, we need to know our equipment, or try to get more knowledge about the things that we work with. Because we try to upgrade one thing and not realizing. Like, I've made the same mistake a long time ago.
Me too.
You be like, oh man, you be so hyped and ready to upgrade to the next level. And like, say you get this picture. This is used that. I used the 2010 computer.
That's what it was, yeah.
And,
Yeah, I think I remember.
Rev 7.
Right. And everybody went off on the Rev 7
But
part.
it was all about everybody want to get the Rev 7, but you don't know what it takes to run it. So now your computer's 2009, 2010, and you run into an issue because you wanted to update without. So you have to pay. You're paying money. So like when I started updating my sound systems, I needed more power. I'm like, man, I want this, I want that. But then we go.
Listen up.
You go from that 14 gauge.
Right.
You can't use that shit no more.
Wonder why that joint hot.
Because
Why that cord hot?
you can't use that no more. So that's what I meant by I didn't mean to like, oh man, my computer's still working. That's you missed the whole premise of it. I mean, it's about if you want to upgrade, understand the things that goes with it. I mean, all this new technology, everything you do, you go ahead and try to do an effect and
They saying your mic sound like a robot.
it does.
Might have to fix that. I ain't mean to interrupt you, Jay, but I just saw that up there. Shout out Strong Cologne, Carlos LeBron. Thank you for that tip. When we talking to Jay? Okay. But what J-Rock is saying basically is when he posted that post, it wasn't about the laptop versus the Rev and whether your laptop still work. It's about when you upgrade, and we actually got that on our list too, upgrading your gear. When you upgrade your gear, you want to upgrade across the board. Initially, it's like he said, you get the S11 and you want to run stems and your 2012 laptop is maxed out and it's working. But then you run into something and then you want to post to find out, go to YouTube, whatever, and find out what's going wrong. And a lot of times, the first thing that somebody says when they answer you is they want to know the specs of your computer. And what that means is, even though it was working at one time, it's taking a toll. It's taking a beating, even though it may work for a couple months. It may be flawless for a while. Not saying that it's not flawless now, but why suffer those bumps and bruises when you upgrade your equipment, upgrade to the best of your ability, upgrade everything along the line. So if you get an S11 and you want to get the if you can't afford a brand new $3,000 laptop, do not feel bad. Do not think that you're supposed to. Give me 1 minute, guys. Check one. That's better. All right, there we go. We got J-Rock back up. So what you want to do is you want to upgrade across the board. Same thing like we saying. We starting out with electricity, sound, and DJing. So
sound better?
Yeah, I think we got. Yep. Somebody said facts. Oh, Lamar Bridle, what's going on? He said I thought he was singing some T-Pain.
Yeah,
we fixed that. We You know, we try to be versatile over here. But all right, Jay. But go back to what you were saying. I tried to add there while you was fixing the mic.
Thanks, LeBron.
But
Oh yeah, but you know, it's just you want to. Yes, everybody wants to be up on all the new stuff, but now you need the things to run it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I started going up in my speakers, everything was a little 1,000-watt speaker here, this and that. But then now you're going into 2,000 watts speakers. Now I got subs that's 6,000 watts or 6,500 watts. So now your whole chain of electricity changes.
Yeah.
Like the things that you can't get away with.
So now for you, you need a distro.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you explain that to some guys? The distro with that. Now listen up, guys. Pay attention as you, like J Rock said, as you increase the wattage and the amperage in your speakers, distribution of power is important. That's what a distro is. I'm gonna let Jay explain it because he uses it all the time.
Well, a lot of stuff, depends on what you need. So I got 30 amp distros in my that I use with my rack. You got 50 amp distros that you can use. Most generators, you might have a 20 amp on there.
Okay.
Well, your lines will be 20 amp, but the 20 amp is the 15 with the line to the side.
With the line to the side, right?
But you can make that a 20 amp if you have that.
The adapter I was talking about, right?
Then you got your 30
See,
amp.
I know a little bit. I know a little bit.
So it's just going up in power, and you need that power. And trust me, you hear the difference when you have it and when you don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
You hear the difference.
And you also, believe it or not, you give the life of your gear longevity.
Strong was good, player.
Hey, I shouted him out already. Yeah, you talking about that tasty cake. Somebody said they had your jacket too. That was funny. I seen that the other day.
My man John.
Shout out to the person with the Jonathan jacket. Tasty cake.
His name John, not Jonathan. He trying
Put
to
that joint in the frame, man. That's got history on it. Lot of chocolate cupcakes came through that jacket.
No, pies. I was team
you
pies.
pie, man? Lot of pies came through.
Pie department.
But so now again, electricity, sound, and DJing. So we're trying to marry that conversation. And as you see, what J Rock just said, as you increase, like a lot of guys get on there and say, "Hey, I want to upgrade my speakers. What should I get?" Stuff like that. Again, if you already, let's say you mid range. Let's say you running the smallest QSC system. You spent a couple $1,000s already, and you may actually be getting away with using 14 gauge cords. I would say as you upgrade, also check out your power cords. So consider that in your pricing or in your shopping as you want to upgrade to the next level of QSC, or you want to go from QSC to RCF, or whatever you want to go to. Initially starting out, again, I'm going to be the guy who helps people start out. Initially started out, get what you can afford, but also get something that has some quality to it. So everything is cheap. It's going to sound good for the first 3-4 months, but if you beating it up, it's going to start getting what we call fatigued. And then what that means is it's not going to last through a whole 4-hour gig. You're going to hear it, and you're going to be trying to adjust it and turn it up. That means the speaker's getting fatigued. So, again, that could be from several things. You could have bad wiring going to it. You could have bad signals going to it. You could be pushing it too hard. And if you don't have the right electricity going to it, like J-Rock said, the speaker's not getting all the juice it needs to perform at what the level the manufacturer says, hey, this can do 1,000 watts RMS and 2,000 peak. But it just sounds like a 500-watt speaker, and you don't know why. So those are some of the things. Again, with sound, we get into your signal. You know what I mean? I don't know if they can see the bouncy, Jay. I call it the bouncy.
No, they can't see that.
But basically, the signal we see, J-Rock has a signal to the microphones. So the microphones in the green, if I raise my voice like that, it bounces in the yellow. Don't touch no red. That's where you want to be in what we call gain structure. You want to be like that all the way across the board. So you want to come out your laptop, up if you use Serato, up in the corner, there's a little, that's the master. It's a little bar up there, a little bouncy bar up there. Then on your channels, on your turntables, your channels, there's a bouncy bar there. So now, if you need to raise it up, because everything's recorded differently. Even though it's say 320, it still could be recorded differently. So it's about recording and mastering. So you may have a track that's a pristine track, but it don't have a lot of volume to it. So you got to give it a little bit in Serato. That's fine, but make sure that your main is just bouncing in that green, maybe touching the yellow. Then when you get to your DJ mixer, you want that same effect on your DJ mixer. As you get to your board, you want that same effect. So what happens is now when you want to turn up, you can turn up without distorting. So your signal stays clean. The other thing you want to do, and I'm going to let J-Rock take over from there, is at least I'm going to say this. All power speakers or all speakers, period, even if you use passive, you want to open them channels all the way up because you're going to get the most out of your system and you're going to get the best sound out of your system. And that's almost no matter what system it is. Now, if it's super cheap,
You talking about power speakers?
talking about power speakers or even passive. If you have passive amps, you got to open them all the way up. So that's the key. I'm gonna let J Rock take it from there.
Well, older powered speakers when they first came out, they use volume. Well, if you DJ back in the day, you knew about the amplifiers, and on an amplifier it's not volume, it's called sensitivity. So now when you have it halfway up, if anybody owns maybe RCF brand or certain brands, when you start to turn it up, you be like, dang, why jump so fast from one volume to the next? You can go from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock and it get way louder.
Right.
Because it's sensitivity. When you open it all the way up, you get that robust, that rich, everything that amp is intended to give you comes out of there. And it's your job to track your your gain structure. It's your job to track your gain structure after that. So then your ear takes over. So now you're listening to make sure, like I use it's a lot of things that they put on paper and all that. I use my ear. My ear tell me.
Say it again.
My ear don't lie.
Say it again.
My ear does not lie. So I turn it up where I'm comfortable, knowing that I don't have to go replace any drivers or anything. And I'm cool.
That's the best part when you ain't got to replace that.
But sensitivity is what that is. It's not
Volume.
It's not a volume. So on all I use RCF brand. Everything I use, I open all of them all the way up because it creates that rich, robust sound.
It's the difference. Put it like this: if you able to be home and you have like a lab set up, your garage, maybe the basement, neighbors don't complain. Like I'm gonna say, do it after work, like 5 or 6 o'clock. Try your speaker, turn your speaker on, set your gains where they're bouncing in that green, and then turn it up halfway, and then notch it up a little bit. Don't change nothing on your mix board or your controller, but keep notching it up, keep notching it up, keep notching it up, right? When it starts to sound distorted, pull it back, turn it all the way back down. Now go to your mix board and bring your gain on your channels, bring them back some, till you get a clean green bounce. Like even if the bass hit, it shouldn't come out of the green. Maybe just touch a little yellow a little bit, like ping, but it should be a clean green sound. Now what you do is, before you turn the main volume up on your master, go back to your speaker, turn it all the way open. Now slowly turn your master gain up and watch what come out of there and watch where the gain number is. You're going to be somewhere around 10 or 11 and you're just going to blow your mind. So a lot of times you'll hear us say, like when you come to the cafe, we say set everything at 12 o'clock because that's the zero out, basically. That's the, what's it called? Zero out, right? So that's the zero out.
Unity.
So unity, right. So at that point, because we have a board, we see the signal you sending. So now what we're doing is we're slowly turning the volume up until we see the signal in the main. So once that signal gets to touching the yellow, we might come back a little bit and we might tweak the gain a little bit, or then we may have you bring yours down a little bit because controllers run on mixers, DJ mixers and stuff like that run on XLR, or I'm going to say low-high. What's it? Low, high Z.
Well, you have
line and phono, put it that way.
Well, if you're using XLR versus quarter inch, if you got a mixing board and you're going in XLR, that's a mic in, and that mic in is preamped. So it's a hotter signal.
Oh, it's actually reversed.
Yes, the mic is hotter. The line in is a line. Level.
I'm learning something.
Yeah.
So now when you use the quarter inch out of a controller, why is it so high?
Think about it. If you look at I think I got one on there.
We got an example, guys. We got an example. See, that's why I love having these conversations because I'm still learning. So now, who we got up there? Carlos LeBron say you're going to try that. Lemmy, hey, what's up, Lemmy? The instigator. What's going on? DJ Lido, salute, family. Kirkland. Do it say it on that one?
No.
Okay.
But the thing is, if you go in line, go ahead.
I was going to say, J-Rock pulled a mix board out. Now, on some of your mix boards, you'll notice, you hold it up a little bit, Jay. You said don't say it on that one, right? But now, usually the first two, depending on how many channels you had. Now, this is a 4-channel. So, well, maybe a 6 or 8 channel because you got quarter-inch plugins. 12 channel. But usually with your XLRs right here across the top, the first two are usually your mic channels, and they actually say mic. That's what you were talking about, right?
Well, they're all mic channels.
They're all on this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
All mixers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know mine say mic on, like it may say it in two
If you're going
spots.
quarter inch, that's for audio.
Oh, see, that's what I'm learning.
Yeah.
So basically, XLR is always a mic signal.
So now, if you're putting audio, then let me catch up. If you're putting audio through
Yeah, I hold that.
the quarter, the XLR,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you have it down. Like this one don't have it, but usually it'll show you
Mm-hmm.
a point to get it to.
Yeah, it has a little notch on it where like don't go past here.
Yeah,
Right.
So like if you're putting a DJ mixer through the XLR, then you might not come past 9, 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
on
9,
there.
10. Yeah, I'm gonna say 3, but it's 9. Yeah, 9 or
Yeah.
10. Right.
And you'll be able to see, like, be like, okay, all right,
Right.
you know it's hot.
Right.
But you go on quarter inch.
You need more.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, got you. Learning curve.
And then you got all the different kind of mixers. I don't really like rain mixers because they don't give you no headroom.
Yeah, I don't like it.
The-
The volume cards, the sound
Pioneer-
cards.
Pioneer is hot. Oh, I never had a Pioneer mixer that wasn't hot.
Yeah, and the S series actually have a button on the back where you can change the dB. I know you think you're doing something major, but stay out of 12 dB. If you are in 12 dB, you might be having speaker problems or probably blew a couple speakers and
Yeah.
don't know why. You want to be in 6 dB. I think the one under that is 3. I think it's 3, 6, 12, something
Yeah.
like that. But you want to be 6 dB on the S series Pioneer mixer. So that's the S9, S11, S5, S7. They had that little button in the back. You'll see it right next to the plugins, the ins or the outs.
And also, that's all about you and how, what you're running, and how you're running your system.
Yeah.
Because if you got mix boards and all that stuff, 0 is fine.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to
Yeah.
try to boost anything.
Yep. And again, like I said, I just learned something about that too. So now that's your electricity, sound, and DJing. So hopefully we kind of blend that together for you. Again,
And we are not professional techs by any means.
No.
We're just going by what we've learned in the field.
experience, what we learned.
So don't be like, they said this.
Yeah, no. So this is one of the things I always say with that conversations when people want to upgrade and they say, well, what speaker should I try? Or I'm gonna try the Evolve 50. What you guys think? What I think about the Evolve 50 might not be what you think once you hear it. So I always say, go with what your pockets can afford, and go with the applications you do the most. So like J-Rock has, if you ever seen J-Rock System out in the park, J-Rock has a concert series RCF rack. Now he got smaller versions of that, but that's what he got. I don't need that because I'm not doing concerts, I'm not doing live shows, I'm not doing none of that. Now I use 2 subs, 2 tops, sometimes 3 tops, 4 tops with 2 subs, maybe third sub. That's what I have in my arsenal.
And
So-
not to cut you off, but ask him the DJ Lito,
Yeah.
like, how come you don't use stereo? I don't
Okay,
understand.
so do you mean stereo as far as in your mix board or stereo? So let me clear up stereo for you.
Thanks, Skills. What's good?
What's
and
up,
thanks for the
Skills?
tracks. He gave me some tracks.
Okay, what's
Yeah.
up, Skills? Yes, sir. So let me explain stereo to you. So again, I'm a Serato DJ. So in Serato, you can go stereo or mono. Out your mixer, if you can see the front of the mixer down there, you might be able to see a little bit. But y'all know what the back of mixers look like. You have a left and a right. Left and right means you have a signal going right, signal going left. And I'm going to say more than likely in 95% of recorded music today, it's recorded in stereo. So that means there's something going on in the left signal, something going on in the right signal. Now, if you run it in mono, I'm going to say that's your safest signal, but you're going to miss a whole lot of that music. If you run it in stereo, you want to come out the left, your mixer, you want to come out the left channel. You want to go on, I'm just going to use this as an example. You want to go into channel 1 on your mix board, and you want to pan it to the left, because that's the left. You come out your right, you go into your mix board, you pan that to the right. Now you got 2 channels, and as you turn them up, then you can come up with your mains. You should hear different sounds coming out your left and right speakers. But also out your mix board, you got to go left to left and right to right. So that whole chain has to be left, right, left, right, left, right to the speaker. Now, some people think stereo means I got 2 stacks. No, that means you got 2 stacks. If you run in stereo, then you should be able to hear. Like you'll hear little nuances on one side and not the other. You might hear a siren on the left and little ting-tings on the right. Am I right, J-Rock?
Lito, I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's what he's
mixer.
saying.
Are you talking about a DJ mixer or a mixed board?
Yeah. On a DJ mixer, you can actually come out of left and you can come out stereo from your mix board.
No, that'd drive me to drink.
That would.
I run stereo everything.
Yeah, I'm doing shortcuts.
Everybody used to be like, "Why are you doing that?" I'll run stereo everything all the way through my line, except subs. Subs are
they're omnipresent.
Yeah, they're omnidirectional.
Yeah, omnidirectional.
So you run one feed to your sub, but
yeah,
my top end is always in stereo.
And for the reason I just explained, you get the whole nuances of that particular or any song that comes through there. So if it's your DJ mixer, I'm going to follow the more professional version. I gave you the cheat code where you can come out the left channel and keep it moving. But as J-Rock said, you do want to run stereo throughout your system. Especially if you
have a quality sound system, you're doing yourself a disservice by running in mono.
I believe that, yeah. You know what? And I learned that from J-Rock because a lot of times doing smaller places, I'll run. Remember I was telling you I would run in mono just because I can get that one signal and I ain't got to worry about it. But then J-Rock said, try it in stereo and see what happens. So I went home and I tried it, and I think that was doing when we was having the pandemic conversations.
Uh-huh.
And I've been running in stereo ever since. Now I knew about that, but again, cheat codes. You know what I mean? Like if I'm doing something small, I got two tops. And you know what? I'm gonna run these things in mine and keep it moving. But once I heard it, you get spoiled. Mm-hmm. And see, like when I do checks like that, I don't listen to it and go, oh wow. I leave it on for a couple hours and just put Serato on autoplay, like in a jazz, like it's something. I don't want to hear hip hop and trap. I want to hear good music. So I put jazz on, some R&B, some Nina Simone, somebody who can sing with an A.
Live instrumentation.
Yeah. You know, Earth, Wind and Fire, those type of things. Because then once you hear it, it's almost like wow. And your speaker sounds different. It just sounds cleaner. So if that's what you mean, was it Leland? LeBron? If that's what you mean, he was asking about the stereo LeBron. That's his, yeah. Lamar Biddle. I hate mono. Exotic D, what up? Mixing board. I always run out stereo on the mixing board instead of using my 1 and 2 channels. Okay. So when you run out of stereo, all right, so you don't use.
So what you were using, RCAs?
Yeah.
I'm not understanding.
Because in order to run into the board, you got to go 2 channels. You got to go left, right, and then to come out of the board, you got to go left, right.
In order to run stereo, you can go if you use an XLR or 1/4 inch into your mix board. You can go channel 1 and 2, like you just said, but you have to pan them left and right in order to get that effect
stereo.
Yeah, the stereo sound.
So like what we're saying is when you come out your DJ mixer or your controller, you got a left channel and a right channel. So you go left channel 1. As soon as you plug it in channel 1, that pan button, which is usually right above your volume, you want to pan that to the left. And it'll say it on there. It'll say 0, then it'll say L, and it'll say R. So if that first channel is left, you want to pan it left. Second channel comes out, that's right, you want to pan that right. Now, what that does is when you go to turn the volume up on your channels, you have to turn both of them up, and then you bring up your mains. And then you'll get that signal on the left side and the right side. But again, out of your mixing board, you also have to go, if you got a speaker on the right, you come out of right into your speaker, speak on the left, come out of left into your speaker. And that gives you that signal.
And in today's time, you got these digital mixing boards. You just push the chain button, and that gives you left, right.
That's that fancy stuff. Yeah.
Just a button.
I got a digital mixing board too, so I know what you're talking about. But so that's the sound part of DJing. Again, I'm coming to you from starting up or just assuming, and that's another one of our topics. Just assuming you want to upgrade and stuff like that. We want to start with our electricity wiring. As J-Rock said earlier, the better your speakers get, the more they can put out. If you're going from 500,000 watt speakers to 2,000 25 watt speakers, I'm talking about tops, and you're going from 1,000-watt subs to 2,000 watts or more subs, then you want the proper electricity going in or for them subs and speakers to pull from. Once you get to those levels where you over, to me, if you over 1,500, I'm gonna say 1,000. If you over 1,000 watts RMS, meaning continuous, you basically want to get into better wiring, number one. Number two, you want to get into some type of power conditioner, if not a distro. Because at that point, you're just protecting yourself and you're going to get the most out of your speakers. You want to add to that, Jay?
All right, let's just keep. I get some questions.
Got some questions. What up, fellas? Django, Antoine for the sub.
Well, you can daisy chain your
for the stereo sound.
Your tops.
Yeah.
But your sub is on the auxiliary.
Yeah, subs is the omnidirectional signal. So basically for your subs, I mean it's several. All right, so let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about setups. So depending on, this is getting a little deeper.
Django, what's cracking?
Yeah. Depending on the room. So let's talk about that for a minute, Jay. Let me pull my little thing back up, see how that segues. Okay, starter sound systems. That was the next one, so that's perfect. So depending on the room you're in,
you got notes and everything, huh?
I got the little flyer.
I gotta step my game up.
I got a little flyer. That's
I be
all.
doing all off the top of my head.
I did this in case I had to draw a diagram or something. But
Okay,
I ain't had to do that yet.
You
But
know what I mean?
so now
Showing
we
out.
segue it into starter sound systems, and this goes if you want to upgrade and stuff like that. So I want to say to Antoine's question about the subs and the stereo. So your tops are always stereo. That's where your stereo signal is going to come from. Your subs are omnidirectional. Depending on your room, how many subs you're using. So the sub law is this. Excuse me. The sub law is this. If you in a room that has a high ceiling and you don't have no way of either dampening or delaying your signal, you want to do what's called phasing. Now, some of the subs from J-Rock, some of the subs have the button now where you can phase off of the back of the sub.
Not no more.
They don't have them?
The older ones used to have that.
Okay, so now what phasing is, if you have 4 subs, you want to turn one back at you. And what that does, that eliminates that echo. If you have an older sub that actually has the phasing button on it, you can push the phasing button in on all 4 of your subs, and you should eliminate the echo. Far as your tops, you may, if you got a would it be most, let me see. If you got a good board or digital board, you may want to give it a 1 delay, depending on how. And again, this is once you get your gain structure set, you want to use your ear. So your subs can go in 2 separate stacks. So let's say you got 4 subs. You can have 2 subs and 2 tops left, 2 subs and 2 tops right. Your stereo sound is coming out your 2 tops. Your subs are going to be omnidirectional. Or you can have 2 tops left, 2 tops right, and your subs in the middle, close together. What is it, J-Rock? 3 dBs per sub next to each other, something like that? Is that the math? Is it three? So if I put 2 subs together, I gain 3 dBs. Is that right?
Yeah, per cluster.
So per cluster. So if you got 4, you're basically going to gain 6 dBs in that 4 sub cluster. So you get a little bit more. So sometimes, depending on the room, there's a thing called what I like. I think that's the name of it, but like what I like to call is I like to call it formatting. So if I'm on a stage and the dance floor is right in front of the stage, and then the chairs are either around the dance floor or a little bit further back, I want to centralize the dance floor with the boom. And then as people walk off the dance floor, I want them to be able to talk like me and J-Rock talking now, not screaming at each other. When they come on the dance floor, if they want to talk, they got to scream. So
Ty taught me that.
Yeah, and I learned that from
I used to be like, man, I'm gonna kill this room. And then Ty was like, no, the party's on the dance floor.
Yeah.
People want to socialize
over there
in the seating areas. Yeah.
I learned that from a sound engineer doing sound for when I was playing with the live bands. So I was doing good with the mic thing because I was learning. So I was learning about zones and feedback and all that. So the mic sound great. But then when I played as a DJ, you couldn't hear nobody in the back. They were screaming. So he said, listen. He said, I know what you're trying to do. He said, I know what you're trying to do. He said, but with your dance music, he said, just jam out he said, they can hear it back there, but just have the boom on the dance floor. Let them talk back there. And he showed me how to do it, and I learned some things. So that's what I would suggest, Antoine. If you want to run stereo and you want to use your subs, just remember the rule is subs are omnidirectional. If you cluster them together, every 2 subs is a 3 dB gain. So let's say your dB on that particular sub is 94. You add a sub next to it, now you got a 97. If you got 2 more, you add them to it, you add 3 more dB. So you got 97, you got 100 watt dB. Now remember the ear and the fatigue with the ear. So you want to kind of, if you get into like monitoring your sound and stuff like that with sound, what they call them, sound meters and all that, you want to stay around 90, maybe no more than 95, because I think 92 constantly is like where the stress level is on your ear. That's another factor, but that's a little bit down the line. J-Ray, you want to add anything to that with the stereo?
I was just trying to keep up with the comments, so that's why I got the computer open so I can see them.
Melly got a question.
What's good, Melly?
What's up, Melly? Let me see. On property getting the right power for. Let me see. I have a question. Hopefully, y'all can show live. So you're saying properly getting the right power? I think you want to say properly. Mac, what's up, Mackie?
Mac, what's cracking?
So folks have 4 speaker setups, 2 tops, 2 bottoms, or even 8 speakers. Can you show them how to properly plug them up to get efficient power to all of them? Because I see folks using extension cords. I hope y'all not using extension cords. Don't when you say extension cord, do you? Ooh, Jesus! I hope we're not talking about brown extension cord. Don't ever plug a speaker into a brown extension cord. We did that back in '89. It didn't work then. It don't work now. Okay, just want to let you know.
It might have worked in '89 because your speaker was only 300 watts. Now your speaker's 2,000.
Can I tell you a secret? Can I tell you a secret? We didn't know, but that wire got hot too.
Yeah, it's gonna get hot.
So, all right. So, can we show them?
All right. So let's
did talk about it a little bit, Millie.
Let's
J-Rock go with
let's
that.
do some math. So get your calculator out.
All right, pull your calculators up, guys.
So that's what we're doing.
On your phones, pull your calculators up.
So
pay attention.
Your outlet is 15 amps.
Mm-hmm.
So you go into to look and see what your max out of the amperage for the speakers that you have, and then you know how many amps. That.
So give me a good number for the.
All right, say your tops are 3 amps.
Okay, so we got a 3 amp top. 3 amp top.
Say yeah.
So 3A.
But now you're looking at like 5 if it's pushing when it's
okay 3 to 5
when it's fully exerted.
Okay.
Then you got a sub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, so you got to look at that math when you're.
So the sub may be a 6 or 7, or same thing.
It goes by the speaker.
Right. Okay, got you.
Like one of them.
I'm trying to give them a visual.
Those is 2,800 watts. That's not going exactly.
Yeah.
So
for an example,
for a 15 amp circuit, you have to do the math to know what goes in there. So you keep talking about I got this 1,000 watt speaker. I'm about to try to do 300 people. And then you got 2,000 watt speakers. Now that's 2,000 watts. So now you got 2,000 divided by the wall is 120 volts.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up. 2,000 divided by 120.
Mm-hmm.
That's 16 amps. Fully exerted. Yeah, I mean, so think about that when you're putting a sub and a sub and a top on one outlet, or trying to put more than that on that 15 amp circuit. Then now I always, for some reason, just a stickler. When I'm playing on, I always plug that somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because when everything goes off, everything goes off. At least you have, like, if you're on separate circuits and you have your equipment, running independently.
So Melly's saying if they only have access to 2 receptacles, how are they plugging up?
No. If they only have access to that, then you ain't using all that.
Yeah, it's going. First of all, it's going to flip a switch.
Yeah,
trust me when I tell you. So now, just to go with Melly's thought there. In that case there, all right, what I didn't explain to you when we was talking about electricity and wires, you want to go 12 gauge or 10 gauge for your power cords. Those are power cords going to your speaker setup out of the wall. So you don't want to run anything more than 50 feet unless it's 10 gauges. So at that point, Melly, they may have to see if there's a receptacle down wall. Maybe somehow they can find out, make sure it's not on the same circuit. In most cases, if it's more than 8 feet, it's probably not on the same circuit. And then you would run your speakers from down wall, come up with that 50-foot 10-gauge wire, and that's what you plug your subs into, because that's going to be your biggest hit. At that point, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jay, you can go into your power conditioner from the electricity wall, from the two outlets you're talking about, run your tops off of that, and then out of that second one, you can go right to your laptop and controller, because that's going to take the least amount of juice. Or would you come right out with the power conditioner for both?
My thing is just,
if you had to do that,
just educate yourself on the math.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, educate yourself on the math. Watts divided by volts give you amps. Amps is everything.
So in other words, that stack J-Rock was talking about is a 16 amp stack coming out of a 15 amp receptacle. So, it ain't gonna work.
But no, it will work.
Okay.
But because you're not running at that maximum at all times.
So that's when it hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're not pulling that like that. That's the
right.
max.
That's the max of it.
Yeah,
okay, got you.
But know that math. That all three of those values give you the other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you can figure out your watts, you can figure out your volts, you can figure out your amps by reversing the math of that equation, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And there's stuff on YouTube and also Google where you can see charts and stuff like that. I post them every now and then along with the gauge wiring charts. So, let me see. Also, can you show them what kind of power cords they should have?
There's see.
We
this
did
is
talk
the thing.
about that. We talked about that, Melly. But go ahead, Jay.
It can get real expensive.
Yeah.
Like you can't. I can't tell you if you got two little Mackie Thumps or if you got some alto speakers. I'm not gonna tell you to go get a 10 amp cable that costs more than a daggone speaker. So it depends on your system. It's levels to this.
Yeah.
You know
What's up, Jamal? Be more in the building.
What's cracking? You on the couch too, player?
Skill
You on the
said
couch?
Yeah, we on the couch. We already went through that, Jamal. Don't even worry about it. I got with him, man.
Y'all on the couch.
Don't worry about it, man. But Skill says he always checks his amperage draw specs for whatever speakers he wants to buy, just to be aware, especially when he's using passive and the amperage draw.
There you go.
There you go.
And everybody needs to do that. Like
so.
You get into a lot of these places and they power's not correct.
Right. And that's another thing. Now, if y'all was it last? I think it was our finale last season. I think it was that one where I had the little meters to check your power plugs and all that. J-Rock had a better one that actually tells you the amperage. I had the one to tell you if the line was good or not. So one thing you always want to do too, you want to make sure that you have groundage in your outlets. Again, like J-Rock said, this can get expensive. So if we start low, if you look in your wire bag now, pull your power cord. And these are power cords. These are like your extension cords. These are the power cords that come from your equipment are already regulated to your equipment. I try my best to either know what that plug is or keep that plug to go to that particular item. Because the EIC? The EIC, again, is amperage, and you want it to be the right amperage for that particular device. Now, once you get to your power, going into your outlet, into your gear, your mixing board, your controller, and your laptop are your least amount of amperage. You ain't got to worry about as much, but you want them to be protected from surges. When you get into your speakers, especially when you're using subs. Now, if you use 3 tops in certain places, you really pretty much ain't got to worry about what we're talking about. But you do want to run certain power wires. So at least, at the minimum, you know what I mean? Right now, you're starting out, or your wires are 16 gauge, or you're using brown house wires. You want to change them up. You want to at least get 14 gauge. But our suggestion, and again, like J-Rock said, the disclaimer, we're not professional sound techs, but this is experience, trial and error. We already burnt some stuff up, so we're trying to tell you how not to burn some stuff up. basically.
I burned up. I had some.
I think I know what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
I was at the happy end. I had some
heard the story.
EV Eliminator series. Okay, they was like, they might have been like 300 to 500 watts,
You was killing it.
8 ohms. Then I had you listening? I had a 3600 watt QSC amp. You get me? Mm-hmm. I was sitting there, it was banging, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, dang, this thing sound good. Then I'm like, man, it's kind of late. It smelled like bacon and eggs in here. Who the fuck is cooking breakfast right now?
He was. Did you have sparks?
It got a little quiet. Why? Damn, it don't sound as loud as it was. Smoke from the right stack. Damn. Smoke from the left. Damn.
AM radio.
Yeah, man. So, you try to upgrade things, but don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Or don't pay attention, just like Skill says. Skill say he does his homework and looks at the wattage and the amperage and all those things before he purchases, because he knows that he has to create that power supply for those things. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bacon and eggs. Yeah.
Bacon and eggs, Leo.
Yeah, Leo, I did it.
Melly said that he asked the question because he get asked a lot about how to hook up line arrays and they frying stuff in their MacBooks. Okay, J-Rock gonna get into the line array hookup. But what I wanted to say, Melly, to add on to what J-Rock said, because that was a real important example, this is what we learned. As we went along, not having the knowledge we trying to share with y'all, or maybe nobody taught us, you know what I mean? And we just out there, and things was working fine for 2 or 3 months, and then it's that one day you get that bacon and egg smell. Or I've had speakers, J-Rock, where like I had a light show, and it wasn't, I ain't no lights. Yeah. And you see the back of the speaker flickering. You're like, what's that? You go over it, and it's a little flame. It's an actual fire. You know what I mean? So we don't want to do that with you guys. So again, when you're looking at your power wires, your wire going from the outlet in the wall to your speakers, get in the habit or start changing your power wires over to 12 gauge or 10 gauge. 14 gauge is bare minimum, but you want to be at 12 gauge to 10 gauge. You want to have runs of maybe 10 feet, 20 feet, I would say 10 feet, 25 feet, and then 50 feet. That should give you enough. If you go anything past 50 feet, you definitely want to use 10 gauge, and you want to try to use one cord. Now, the wires that we talking about now start out at like $60, maybe $45, depending on where you go. And that's for like maybe a 15-footer.
If you was just a DJ, you ain't gonna want to carry that 10 gauge wire around, player. A 50-foot.
It's long and heavy.
Pause.
Am I supposed to say pause? Because I don't say pause.
Yeah, man.
But again, now I have little go bags. I showed y'all guys that in that finale from last year. So in there, I have 10 gauge wires for my extension cords. I paid at the time. Now mine's are kind of old. Again, that's another thing. If your wires start to get like brittle feeling, like they don't unravel smoothly or they don't have that smooth bending, they're probably getting old. Wires do wear out. So before it goes out on you, you want to replace that. But I have 10 gauge extension cord, black ones. I have a white one in case I ever get like a white wall or a white backdrop. Little things I learned along the way. But again, when I went to upgrade on my wires, my power wires, that's what I bought that day. I went out and said, okay, I got X amount of dollars. I know that I got to get this. And I shopped around. You know, I mean, like, there's no, like, it ain't like speakers. Like, there's no RCF 10 gauge wire versus Mackie Thump 10 gauge wire. There's nothing like that. You get 10 gauge wire, get the best price you can because they are expensive. If you go to Home Depot or Lowe's, you can actually have them make them for you. You know what I mean? It may be a little cheaper that way because they charge you by the foot. But I'd rather have something that's already made with a guarantee and a receipt and all that kind of stuff. So now once you get your wiring together, then you want to look at what me and J-Rock was talking about, how you running sound. To Melly's question about, let me see, I got I got 2 8-racks in the Gemini mixer with Gem Sound speakers. Perry P, you the veteran. You supposed to have that. That's the last time you DJed when you had 8 tracks and you had Gemini mixer. Perry P, the voice of Philly in the building. What up, sir?
What's cracking, sir?
Yes, sir. But with the Lana Rays, there may be a different thing. I'm not into Lana Rays right now. I love how they sound. So I'm gonna let J-Rock take that over from Melly's question. Melly is saying that guys are asking him how to hook up Lana Rays, and these guys are frying stuff and frying their MacBooks.
What the MacBook got to do with the speaker?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's their whole wiring system.
Like what they, I don't know.
Well, how would you run a Lana Ray? Is there a difference between running tops?
You plug it in.
Plug it in. There you go.
And turn that motherfucker up.
There you go. That's it. So you run Lana Rays like you run tops.
I suggest this one little device for any DJ, anybody that plays in multiple venues, or just to learn your system. You got a power meter, and your power meter, you plug into the wall, and then you plug your stuff that you would be running to that outlet. Then it'll let you know exactly how much amperage, how much wattage, everything that you're pulling. How much power that your system is asking for.
Just that's that. That's
So
that.
it pop right up like this.
That's that's nice. Yours better than mine.
I know.
J Rock's gonna come up to the screen and show you guys. Now this next level stuff here. Go up. There you go. And can you get that? Go to your right and up. There you go. Can you get that at Lowe's or Home Depot, Jay? Or you have to go. Okay, Home Depot. And you can order it and have it dropped off at the house. Now the one that I have, you actually plug it into the wall and it has 3 lights on it. It has red, orange, and yellow. And then how the combinations come out, it tells you right on the front when you got a good signal. So, I'm sorry, it has 4. Then it has green. So you want things to be green. you want things to be green when you plug that in. Now, what mine does, it tells me that that's a good circuit that is grounded and is wired correctly. Okay, what J-Rock got is going to tell you how much amperage you can get out of that circuit. So for me,
no. It's telling you what you're plugging in is asking for.
Oh, there you go. I'm sorry.
So say you put your top and your sub and your top, and you put it into extension cord. Or you do each individual speaker by themselves.
Okay. And
So
it'll tell you this
That
needs 10
side,
amps.
okay, this is while it's playing, it's going to tell you how much you're drawing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So say you
Listen to
drawing
J-Rock.
13 amps or whatever, you know you're fine with that stack at that volume.
At that volume.
But as you turn it up,
It's going to go up.
yeah, so
Pulls
you know,
higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just to be aware of what your system can do and you know your capabilities. You know you don't want to go nowhere unprepared, and especially somebody pay you some big money to do an event, and you don't understand your power.
And your sound cut off.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
know how to fix it, or you don't even know why, and can't get it back on unless, those
Yeah.
things. Those things you don't want to do as a professional or learning to be a
Hey, got
professional.
Disco Dave on this joint. What's
Oh,
cracking,
nah,
player?
look, they go the professional right there. You should have came down the studio, Dave. You know all the answers to these questions.
You know what I mean?
What's up, Disco Dave? What's good with you? Now, if you want to know about sound, next time you see Dave on the street, tell him to turn his truck up.
Yeah,
he got a system. I'm telling you this. I got a nice little stack, but I wouldn't even pull it out against his truck.
At that hurt his.
Yeah, I wouldn't even pull out my. I'm talking about my DJ gear. I wouldn't put up against his truck. Okay, that's what I'm saying to you. And he's the former champ of the park, so you can imagine. Leo's talking about pause. Leo, I'm grown, man. I don't say pause, man. If you don't get it, I can't explain it to you. That's all I can say.
Oh, man.
So right there, we were at the where was we at there? Okay, that was starting the sound system, a starter sound system. We segue into that. Picking the right gear. I'm gonna say we covered that. Just to touch base on that again. Picking the right gear. Again, I understand what you're doing. You're asking for other people's opinions who may have this gear already, or you've been looking at stuff. And it's one, for DJs, if we go into Guitar Center,
Yeah, Leo, that part.
if we go into Guitar Center or anything like that, it's like the candy store for kids. We want all the Now-Laters, we want all the gumdrops, we want all the potato chips, but we can only get one of each. I understand. So But always remember what J Rock may use and like. It may appease to you, however, it may not fit what you do regularly. And what I mean by that, if I was doing shows, live bands, stuff like that J Rock does, then I'm gonna go to J Rock and say, hey Jay, either the next time you go out, let me come and hear the system, or give me a demo. When he comes to the park, I'm looking, I'm asking questions. That's homework. You know what I mean? Some stores you can go in and you can hear, but you're never going to hear it at its best, like going to an event that somebody's using it. So what I like to say is check your pockets first, see what you got. If what you got, maybe the power cords you're using and some of the things we're telling you, maybe if you change the power cords, you change your gain structure, you open your speaker all the way up, you may actually have a new product sitting in front of you and you don't know it. And if you can only afford the next level, like if you got the Mackie Thumps and your next level is EV, the Evox or whatever, you want to go line array, you ain't got to get the J12 that just came. I mean, what is it, K12, CK12, whatever QSC just put out for line array. You don't have to get that. But if that's what you got the money for and you want to get it, as J Rock said, know how to run it.
But not to cut you off, QSC is a great brand.
Mm-hmm.
QSC can operate off of any type of electricity.
Yeah.
And hold form. Like a lot of Crown amps. Like you would use a Crown, the what was it, the
800?
Nah.
C800? Was it the C800?
No. Dang, you going back in the day from
I'm old school.
Sheesh.
See all this gray in my beard, man?
All the macro techs and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you look at your voltage gauge, and I mean like your
decibel.
they won't start if you anywhere near 112, 111.
Okay.
You need 120 voltage coming out the wall. If you
immediately
if you see 109 on your joint, a Crown amp ain't gonna start up.
Right.
Because it's just not enough.
It's not enough juice.
Yeah. So, but QSC, it found a way to make it to where you can get away with working with less. DJ
Philly Randall
what's
said
cracking?
1200. So I think that's the amp that he's talking about. 2400 rather.
For what?
For the one used to the macro 2400. I think.
No, I'm talking about all of them.
Oh, okay. Now Melly says he don't think you should open your speakers up. That it's dangerous, and actually Melly is not. What's dangerous is sending a bad signal through there, and we did cover that when we first started. That's how you get the most out of your speakers, but you have to have proper gain structure before you do that. And the best way to do it is do it in your own home. Try it the way you normally do it. But now what I want you to do is make sure your gain structure is correct. And what I mean by that, in Serato, where your two decks are, there's 2 meters right there. You want to bring them down to they bounce. I call it the bouncy meter. To us bouncing in the green, maybe just touching the yellow. Up in the right-hand corner is your Serato Master. You want to bring that back where that's just bouncing in the green. On your DJ board, you want to bring your gains back. You want your channels all the way up. Bring your gains back to the meter on your DJ board, which is usually right here in the middle of the crossfader, right there. And you have one on the left, one on the right. They're bouncing in the green also, maybe touching the yellow slightly. Now, if you're going from this right into your speaker, start your speaker out where you normally play it. And listen to it. Listen to about for like 10, 15 minutes. Really hear it. Turn your speaker back down. Right? Pull your channels down here so you don't send no signal to it while you do it. Turn your speaker all the way up. Max it out. To a stop. If you turn it after that and you hear a click, you broke it. So you want to, when it stopped, you want to stop right there. So you should be, sometimes it says 10. So you want to stop there. Now on your mixer, turn your main volume all the way down to 0. Put your channels up. Now slowly turn your main up. I guarantee you won't be able to get to 11, and you will hear the difference in your speaker, and your speaker won't stress. Your little red light won't come on. If it sounds the same, then you need new speakers. That's all I'm gonna say to you. But it should sound incredibly different. At that point, back to the electricity, proper wiring, all those things play a factor in that speaker also playing correctly wide open. Like J-Rock said, it's getting the right voltage, the right juice. If you have a sub, then with your sub, you want to have a direct line in power for your sub. Whether you're using 2 or 3 subs, 1 sub, and you want to be able to control the signal from a different source. Oh, that's a good question there, Jay. Now, suppose I don't have a mix board. I got to go out my controller or my DJ mixer. Which way would you suggest to plug up a stack, a sub and 2 tops? Would you go into the sub first and then to the tops on the through, or would you go tops into the sub?
If I'm doing a small application, I'm running it in stereo.
Okay, so you're running the 2 tops, but how you doing the sub? Out of one of the tops, just to the sub?
Well, it depend on the sub it is. Like some of the
With the crossover, maybe?
some of the older subs have the right left in,
Right.
and then you go up.
Then you go up, right.
But
That's what I
I
was talking about.
A lot
The
of them now
throughs
you
to
can
go up, right.
Yeah, but a lot of them now you have the same thing on the sub, just like QSC. You have all the same options on the
Right,
sub.
you have
and
left
the
and
top.
right input.
No, the same options on the top and the bottom.
Oh, you mean
So-
with the little mixers?
So they're throughs. You have an option to go through, or you have an option to
I
cross
understand.
it over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with
So
J-Rock,
tops usually don't have that,
right.
but QSC tops do have that.
Okay, so brand is important to what you're trying to do in that regard. You want to get in the habit of
Maul, what up, player?
now for me, Groove facing the building. Mark, we got Maul the barber. So now what J-Rock said, it makes sense. Now I've run it both ways, depending on, like you said, because I have even though this is my sponsor right here, I do have other gear because I had other gear before. I'm one of them people, like, when stuff get old, I try to keep it in good condition. It plays well. Those are rental properties or rental gears. Or if I need some more subs or whatever, throw them together and make your sound right. Anything other than what I got, I'm going to call this man right here and we're going to work it out. So now I've run it into the sub because the sub allowed me to do that and then come out the through and run the through in stereo. Like one left, one right. I've used one sub and one top, and I went into the top first because I want that full range sound from my top. And of course, the sub is omnidirectional. I came out into the sub. I thought I was doing something. Was I doing something?
Well, it all depends on the brand.
Right. So now to me,
Because the QSC,
it sound good.
the
and
QSC,
it didn't stress.
The QSC, you can start from the top and go to the bottom.
Right. Now I may
All
have
brands you can't do that.
right.
Cause
So that's
you
what
get
I'm saying.
crossover and,
I didn't pay attention to the brand. I just paid attention to the I had the in and I had the out. So I went into the tops.
you gotta pay attention to the brand.
Well,
'cause you
no,
don't
I didn't
if
know
you got a
that. I
crossover or
didn't
not.
know that then. That's what I'm saying. I've ran them both ways. And for those applications, I got good sound, nothing stressed.
Yeah.
My sound stayed consistent all night.
If I got one sub and 2 tops, I'm not going through all of. We in stereo.
Okay, there you go.
Turn it up. Let's go.
That's from the professional concert
If
guy.
I need to get more headroom or overhead, I need more stuff. Then I need to bring more stuff.
Okay, all right. So
I'm not
options,
stressing. I'm not trying to over stress anything.
right? That was what I was
Like
my point.
a lot of stuff you'll be trying to do too much and stressing your system when you just need more.
You just need more. You're right. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and that's right.
And that's a big thing I learned messing with the linaries. Like,
Roy Goins, what's up, Roy?
what's going on, player? If you see a lot of big sound companies and none of their stuff is stressing because they just put more up there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? If you want more, get more. Don't don't stress your stuff because you're gonna be replacing it.
yeah. Now Roy said he's seen people run tops through the master and subs through the booth.
Yeah,
That's an option.
you can do that.
Yeah, that's an option. Because the subs is your least worry only for what your sub is pulling out of the wall. Because sub is omnidirectional. So your tops is where you want your, like J-Rock said, you want your stereo sound to the best of your ability.
You can do it, but you don't have total control because
it's not a sub signal.
nah, you can't. You're getting the same.
But you get into the tops. You're getting the full range signal.
Yeah.
So again, it depends on the sub because then you got to adjust
No,
the
no, no,
crossover.
no, no. My top end, I want to take some of that bass out,
Right, because I got a sub now.
but you're using a booth. It's getting the same thing.
So now, if again, wouldn't it depend on the speaker? If on your speaker you can reduce,
nah.
no,
You said a booth.
right out of a
and
mixer,
then right, left, in the main.
right. So the
right.
tops are coming out your left, right,
So
and
now
the sub is coming out your booth.
you got 2 volumes,
Mm-hmm.
but they're both getting that same bass that you
The
have.
same signal,
Yeah.
right?
So if I'm separating mine, I'm taking bass out of my top end so I get more headroom. Right? You can't do that if you because it has the same feed that the master has.
Right. So you killing the sub bass too.
Exactly.
Right. Got you. Okay.
Exactly.
See, I'm always learning something.
So that means that you have a ceiling. 'Cause
Right.
You can only go until it will start to break up, and then you stay right there.
Yeah. Or come back
come
a little
back a
bit.
little
Yeah. Always remember that. Like J Rock said, use your ear, and once you, if you playing a song that you know is a great song. See, this is another thing I do, and well, I know you do it, but you probably do it differently. So if I'm setting up subs, 2 tops, or whatever, if I got subs, even if I got 1 sub, I always get my tops right first, and then add my sub until I get it right. As J Rock said, so when play like this, when you running it on a separate line. So I'm running, let's say I got a mix board. So I'm running auxiliary line is for my sub. So it's only gonna get a sub signal out that particular channel. My tops are coming out full range out the main, and I'm gonna do my adjustments or whatever. But I want my tops to be like pristine. I want, if a glass breaks, I want you to know it's glass. If girlfriend takes a deep breath before she go, I want you to hear her go, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Sensitivity is what you use. So I want that sensitivity in my tops. And then I want to slowly add my sub until it's like a marriage, where it's like the sub is hitting just right with that crystal clear top, but it's not overpowering. And then when that crystal clear top goes into like maybe a mid section, that bass and that mid is complementing each other, not sounding the same. If I'm making sense.
To me, bass is not important.
Okay.
I don't. Well, it
It's
is important.
additive?
It is important, but it's not important. Covering clean top end with a hint, like you coming up, just like you said, you do that first, then you bringing them up your bass behind. All you're trying to do is fill in the hidden the pieces that's missing. You don't have to be us as DJs. We always boom 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 boom. We we go kill a room.
Boom bap.
But what about the people? The people don't care about that.
Especially the one sitting right in front of the speakers.
Trust me, you get your system way louder and cleaner.
Points.
Bringing that stuff, and you saving your stuff. Like all you got to do is fill it in, and it's gonna fill that room up. It's just us as DJs. We like, man, I gotta kill this. I gotta kill that, and you're doing yourself a disservice by thinking that way. I used to think the same way, but now when I set up a system, I want it to sound like I got on headphones.
I like that, J Rock.
I need it to sound like, if it don't sound like I got headphones on, something's unbalanced.
Something's unbalanced.
You know what I mean? And coming up
I like that.
behind your system with your bottom end allows you to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's a little trick I learned, but I like what he just said about you want your system to sound like headphones. What else we got up there? Freddie Smith, what up? Skills.
The YouTube comments should be popping up there. Skills.
Yeah, they should be.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't see them.
No, they should be.
I think we get a little bit of everything, so we
Yeah,
kind
all
of
of
don't know
them.
where.
We got
we don't know where
Facebook.
y'all coming from, right?
We on Twitch. No, it say, see the F and the,
Oh, I see it over
yeah.
there. Okay.
it should pop up right there.
Okay.
We on Twitch. We on Facebook. We on YouTube.
So now, hopefully, you guys. Let me see. That was picking the right gear, expanding your services. So, as you DJ, you want to get more gear. You want to be able to do bigger events as a DJ. Some of you guys may want to follow J Rock steps. So, J Rock, Fred Tate, Rashid, brother Rashid. Those are real good guys to talk to when you want to get into doing shows and gear that takes you to the next level of concerts and stuff like that. If you just want a better system, so where you go out to do weddings and bigger events, or you want to actually expand into doing weddings and bigger events. Again, we talking about things that cost money, and we also talking about, like J Rock said, knowing the equipment that you're buying. Most weddings, you really don't need real heavy artillery, but you want clean looking, and you also want clean sounding equipment that can do the job. So if you're normally doing weddings, or the last couple of weddings you did were like 150 to 200 people, and what you have now is sufficient and it did the job, but now you want to get into the line array speakers. You want to either add line array tops to your subs, or you want to get into the whole line array setups, the Evoxes, the J8s and stuff like that, the new QSC, stuff like that. One of my theories is I like my stuff to be paid for within the best of my ability within 3 months. So that means I need to have gigs on the books already that's going to pay for this, because after 3 months now I'm able to make a profit, or I'm able to see money come back. My gear is paid for. I don't have to worry about what's coming out my bank account on the 3rd of the month or however I'm paying for it. I like to use my credit card, because at the end of that month, it'll tell me what I spent on DJ gear, because it'll say what I have it categorized in my bank account.
All right,
So,
not to cut you off, but what is your say you buy a speaker, or I say you bought this mixer. What is it? Like, I don't even know.
What's the S11?
1800 or
18?
whatever.
Say
Something like
19.
that. I don't know.
I think it's around 18, 19.
All right. How do you do the math in your equipment to set your pricing?
Okay, that's a good segue. So now, in my equipment for setting my price, I'm under the impression, or I'm gonna say I learned and I was taught that a plumber doesn't charge me for every wrench he has. But when he gets to my house, he may need a certain type of wrench. Now, if he goes out and buy it, because of that particular customer, that may be an upcharge. It may be, depending on the plumber. But what I was taught, and I do have, my uncle used to plumb, or used to be a plumber. I don't know if plumbing is a word. So what he would do is he had the tools to do the jobs. So for me, I do what's called, so let's say I buy this mixer. It's $1,800. So for me, I need this mixer to do the job of the DJ. My price is not based on the equipment. It's based on the service. So even if I didn't have this mixer, I'm still going to provide the service of DJing. It may be my old mixer, maybe a controller. So once I get this price here, once I get this mixer here, the only way my price goes up is if this mixer was needed for that particular job.
Okay.
So let's just say this is $1,800. Normally I charge $600 to do this show, but they bringing on DJ Smooth like that, and he needs an S11. Okay, so basically 1/3 of this mixer is gonna go into my price, because I'm gonna own the mixer after that. So now the 600 roughly then turned into 900, and that's gonna be in my invoice. Oh, Smooth like that need an S11. That's an upcharge, because I have a mixer already, but I got to provide him a mixer. He can bring his own. That's cool, but he wants to walk in, plug in, and play.
All right. Well, this is something that people could look at.
This is my example. That's my example.
There's something that DJs could look at. Find a percentage for each piece of equipment that you take out the house, and set a timetable for all those things to be paid for, and that gets you the fee that you should be charging the DJ. So every piece of equipment should be a percentage of your price.
Okay.
Plus your
So this should be
you
10%.
plus you DJing.
Right. Your service.
Yes.
Right. I like that too. Like I said,
that's just that's
another way.
Everybody talking about how much should you charge?
That was lined up too. So right. So now I like that. Again, these are options. Okay, so they may work for you, they may not, they may help you. Hopefully they do help you. You may take something from it, add it to what you do. One of the things I do too is far as pricing, like in general. So if somebody asks me like, how much you charge to do a birthday party? So what I do is I take what my minimum, and I'm gonna keep basic numbers so we can add this up. So I take my minimum fee that I would charge. So for me, my minimum fee would be $250. Let's say $250 for 4 hours. That's the minimum I would take, right? And then I say, well, how many people coming? And they say 100 people are gonna be at my party. So now in my brain, I go $3 per person. That's 300. Okay, that's $550. That's a fair price. You know what I mean? Now that's something I came up with along the way, because, you know, you live and learn. Like you give somebody a good price, and then you get there and you ain't bringing enough sound for $250 because they told you only 100 was coming. You know what I'm saying? So now not only did I short myself money, but I short myself sound. You know what I mean? So those are the things that I ask now when people ask me about parties, so I can give a base price. Now on the other end of that, I have package pricing. So that goes along with where's the venue? You know what I mean? What else is entailed? You know what I mean? Like, do you need a microphone for somebody to sing? Do you need a microphone for speeches? These, like you said, these things are upstairs.
Well, I didn't want to, because that's a
yeah,
whole
no,
nother,
these,
a whole
that,
nother
that
book
was
of
said, we're
worms.
gonna stay here real short.
I just wanted to
But
talk
no,
about
I like
the
your
equipment.
point. Yeah.
The equipment.
Yeah.
Not about, going into detail.
Well, that was
We'll
on
be
my
all
list,
over
so
the
I
place.
figured we touched that.
I don't want to talk about no price.
Yeah,
That shit.
these are examples. This is not the book of God. Yeah. Okay, it might work for you, it might not. So I just wanted to share that, add that. So let me see, skills, no problem. Great information here. Jakari Judge, that's my nephew. What up, though?
It's cracking, Judge.
You know what I mean? So basically, just a synopsis. Plus, we right on time, man. Let me make sure oh yeah, we right on time there. We ain't doing no sets. So a synopsis is, if you're just starting out, or you want to change your wiring, you want to know about electricity, sound, and DJing, you want to first get proper wiring from the wall to your speakers. Again, your controller, your laptop, your mix board, those things can go into professional surge protector right out the wall, because they don't altogether that might only be 4 amps. Again, when you run subs, you want to try to have your subs come out of receptacle by itself. You can get you the circuit. What do you mean, circuit tester?
I was getting ready to say something smart, but I ain't going to.
Is that what that's what we saying, right? You want your
No,
subs?
I was getting ready to say something smart.
Okay.
Take my shit back.
Okay, he took it back. So I'm trying to do a
was
synopsis
cracking.
here. I'm trying to do a synopsis. So you want your subs to come out of a receptacle, preferably this on its own circuit, just for your subs. Your tops can come out another receptacle, and again, your DJ gear, which is the least of your amperage or the least of your surging stuff, you want that to come out or it can come out with your speakers for the most part. Get high performance, high protection. You want 15,000 joules or more. That about right? For this is this mobile DJing. It's not doing what J-Rock do. He already told you you're gonna need other things. I'm gonna let him go into that synopsis. So you want to use at minimum 14 gauge power wires, but you want to get into 12 or 10 gauge. You want to use Furman or what's another one? I use Furman, so I don't even know some of the other ones. Far as power conditioners or surge protectors, I use Belkin because Belkin protects computers. Usually that's what I use, 15,000 joules or more as a protection. Let's see, where else would we at with it? Sound. We told you basically how to run your sound. You want to get your gain structure right first. You want everything. I call it the bouncy, the bouncy chart. You want to get that in the green. Touch a yellow. Hit a little yellow a little bit, but you don't want no red. You don't want a high yellow. You want that green bounce. And you want that to go across your board.
Bounce, bounce, bounce.
You want to add anything to that, J-Rock, as far as when you
you
get
talking
into
about?
bigger gear? I was just doing a synopsis. We got any more questions? How do you two invest your equipment? Good question, Jakari Judge. You want to go with that one?
What,
First?
like what? What do you mean?
He's saying, how do you invest your equipment?
How do I invest it?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
J-Rock said he don't understand. I'm thinking he's saying Let me see. If you ain't redlining, you ain't headlining. Louis, absolutely, positively. But don't redline, Louis. Don't redline. Somebody said it was Sean Breezy. Breezy, if you don't know what's wrong with red now, get in that car and come over here right away. We're going to show you. I'm thinking Judge is saying, so Judge, do you mean like once we get equipment, or how do we invest in new equipment? Is that what you're saying? We just need a little more clarity. There's nothing wrong with red if you're only going to use your speakers once or twice. So if that's why you bought them, you only got like 2 gigs, and you know you don't have nothing else till 2026. You go red.
At the fuzzy navel, and
Was that what you was holding back?
it's $75 a day, and I just keep on DJing until I get a few dollars to get that.
I'm trying not to laugh. Oh man, that was. I don't even know if that's the inside joke anymore. But so for me, Jeff, where do you go to learn your new equipment? Oh, good question, Ron.
The cafe.
The park. I do have friends like J-Rock, so when he gets something, or I'm in the studio, or I see him, and he's J-Rock, Fred, just about anybody, Manny, when they get something new, I ask questions about that type of gear. Tassi, I ask questions. I keep my ear to the ground, as they say. Like, I might see something come out. Like, I know about those new QSC line arrays. I don't want them, but I know about them. So I'm looking, I'm reading, I'm doing research. Some of you guys are maneuvering to get them. When you get them, I'm going to ask you questions when I see you. And hopefully, if you get a chance to go to a guitar center somewhere to let you hear it a little bit, you can at least get an idea. In-store listening, very rarely are you going to get what that system can really do. So it's best to come to the park or the cafe. J-Rock always willing to teach. That's one thing I can say about J-Rock. J-Rock is always willing to teach. Now, you can't catch him when he's doing a show and ask 50 million questions. But, you come down to the studio on cafe night.
Why the boy snap out on me like that?
Yeah. It's like when you DJing, you setting up and they want to know, well, how long you been DJing? Listen, right now, let me finish. I answer all your questions, but let me finish doing this before I blow a
You
fuse.
can't see Gladys Knight singing up there?
But for me, investing, Judge, for me, this is just for me, it has to go with what I'm trying to do. So if I don't invest in new equipment just because it's new. If my equipment can do the same and the gigs I have, my equipment is sufficient or enough, then I'm good. I invest in stuff like power wires. I invest in XLRs to keep my gear sounding good. I'm at the point now where I have several options in my, I say arsenal, that I could use. Anything bigger than what I can do, then I call J-Rock. I share the wealth because, and J-Rock, I tell you, I mean, we've done shows together with like J-Rock. I got this, got that. They want this, they want that. What's the price? Blah, 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 blah. And then we go in. You know what I mean? J-Rock get there. It's his business. He get a deposit to lock that date in. You know what I mean? Even though we're friends, we have a text message relationship for a contract. Jay, I need this, I need that. What's the price? He say this. When you need me to be there, I say this time. It's from this time to that time. I say, will you accept? Sometimes I say, what's your deposit? And he be like, Groove. I be like, J-Rock, this is business. And I say, well, I'm going to send you this. Cool. Here's your balance. Now we good. When I see J-Rock there, the sound is on already. Like he's already playing a mix, tuning the speakers, getting the room right. I double check. That's your Cash App. Bing. I might not have got paid yet. J-Rock is there. He's on time. He's paid. Whatever happened on this end ain't got nothing to do with J-Rock. You understand? I ain't got J-Rock. They got called a auntie. He ain't got to hear that. You know what I mean? He ain't got to hear that. He got bills to pay. He here on time. He doing what he said he going to do. He go to check. Now, I got to deal with auntie and where she at and how many Tylenols did she take before she fell out. I got to deal with that. So, but anyway, I got sidetracked. So, for me, Judge, I look at, like, I do weddings, mobile gigs. So what I have mostly is sufficient for that. Now, if I was going into the realm where J-Rock was going, again, I like to have things already booked as I go into that realm.
I don't want to spend $5,000 and then try to book events. So like, let's say let's say June, I got 2 small concert shows where, I got some rappers, they're going to rap, blah, blah, blah. I already put my price out there. I kind of know what I need for that, but what I have is not going to do it. So I want to upgrade my subs, or I want to upgrade my tops so I can be able to do this. You know what I mean? Again, I'm going to do my research, whatever. Now I'm going to make that purchase. So in the meantime, and like J-Rock just asked, how do you add new gear into it? So when I get to contract negotiations for that, I'm going to take a percentage of that new product that I needed for that gig. That's where I get a little bit back off of what I did. In the meantime, I got gigs coming up. The equipment I use already is paid for. So now I'm going to take my new gear out and I'm going to learn it. You know what I mean? In an environment where I don't have to do what I'm going to do in June, but now I can tweak it. I can mess with it. I can see how it sounds, stuff like that. So by the time I get to June and I'm in this environment, I don't have no hiccups. Like if something don't sound right, I know it's me, not my gear, or I know what it is. So those are the ways that I invest. DJ equipment, I have sets of turntables. I got a couple controllers. They're sufficient for me. I kind of buy what I want now, but I don't want everything. You know what I mean? So, but business-wise, let me share the story about my lights. Remember I told you about that? Mm-hmm. So I was doing a wedding, and the people wanted lights. I didn't have no lights. So while I'm talking to the lady on the phone, I'm on American Musical, and I'm saying, well, what type of lights you want? You want this, you want that. So I'm looking at light packages. So she told me what type of lights she wanted. I seen the light package that would provide that. It's like $350, maybe $399. So I said, well, lights, when you get lights at that level, blah, 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 give a little speech on it. And I said, well, it's $450 more. She said, okay, fine, I want the lights. Cool. So her deposit was $450. Anybody get that? We didn't have Cash App back then. We had PayPal. That thing went, well, I had to go on my email. It didn't ding back then. So I went to my email. You have money. So I looked, they go to $450. I went over to AMS, purchased it at the house 3 days. I got the lights for that. I still made my money I was going to make without the lights. That was an upsell. Mm-hmm. And I actually made $125, I made about $100 on the light, because the lights was only $400 or $3-something. Mm-hmm. $350, I charged $100 more. So I made $100 on the lights, got the lights. She loved it. Now I got lights.
We on public. We're not just on the cafe page.
Oh, what did I say?
I don't know. Just giving up your tapes.
Oh, I don't mind.
She gonna be like, "Hey, he bought that light with my money."
I'm gonna tell you a secret. If you're listening to me now, this is about 15, 20 years ago now. But if you're listening to me now, I did the same thing the plumbers do to you. Okay?
Ooh, that part.
Yeah. Well, you know them pipes the plumbers just put in, and I'm not pausing. Yeah, they charge you for them pipes, and they put a little couple dollars on it. Them pipes really you got that drain. That drain only costs $29. It didn't cost $49. I'm just telling you something. You know what I mean? And they put that little extra squirty thing on top. They changed it for you, so now it's squirt all over. Rinse your dishes off. That $12 piece. They don't cost $25. No. And then they already charge you $25 an hour. You know what I mean? So we went out to the truck. He called his mom, checked on his girl, see what was for dinner. Yeah, then he charged you for 3 hours being in your house for a 20-minute job. But I'm not going to say nothing about them lights. That's all I want to say about that.
Hey, Breezy, you still got that NS6 with the one side working?
Moshe Jenkins, what's up, baby? Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Tell him. So, but anyway, Judge, I mean, J-Rock had a good point, though. Like, if you're going to upgrade, do the research. We had somebody, was it DJ? I think, who was it? That said, do your research on the products you want to buy. Skills, yeah. And see what it is that you need when you buy this product. So like, you don't want to get a brand new sub or brand new system or brand new anything, and then, like J-Rock said before, your laptop really, even though it works, it really ain't built for that, or you don't have the proper power wires for your new sub and new top, and then you get all this and something go wrong. Mm-hmm. And then you don't know why, but you still either got to pay your credit card, or, if you pay cash, you out of a couple $1,000s in a broke system. Now you got to pay more cash to get it fixed, and customer service ain't what it used to be. So there's ways to avoid that. I think for anybody who wants to upgrade, look at it from a business standpoint of
Breezy crazy.
just use the up face. How far up you gonna put them, Breeze?
Man, I saw that joint he using. I seen that joint like 4 years ago.
I don't scratch anyway.
That joint beat.
So, I mean, it's personal preference at that point when you upgrade. But as a business, you want to be able to, you want the system, whatever you upgrading, you want it to basically pay for itself in the least amount of time. I would say that'd be the best bet. You know what I mean? And like I said, look at what you really do, and do you really need the same system J-Rock uses at the comedy shows or the concerts he do? Or do you need a smaller version of that? Or do you need a new QSC lotteries? You may need just 2 of them. You know what I mean? So either way, you're going to spend a couple $1,000, but you want, to me,
Facts, Breezy.
you should be able to get that money back. For me, it's like 3 months. I need to see something. I need to be close to it's paid off. What do you say? Still a fan,
Wayne.
Raven fan, talking and sharing information about music and sound. Damn it, Trump. Hold up. Wait a minute. We got to tell y'all how NFC North work, right? 'Cause we get, look, the NFC North is like this. We get it in. Our teams, if you can go back, I mean, you can probably go back until Chuck Noll was coach. No, that would be too far back. When Baltimore first became the Ravens, you can go back to that level with when Ray first came to town.
Ray and them?
Yeah, Ray and them. Them games, it's very rarely a blowout in them games. Them games is always hard fought. The score don't mean nothing in them games. It's the Mondays or the Tuesdays after when you see them people talking about, you see the IR list. you didn't know Lamar had a sprained ankle. You didn't know Russell Wilson broke his thumb. You didn't know, that's when you know them. And then it's respect. You know what I mean? If we beat them, we talk trash, but like if they go to the next level, we like, look, kick ass, man, represent.
No,
we
we
the
don't.
North. We the North.
No, we don't do that. We don't mess with y'all like that.
Yeah, they do mess with it like that.
Yeah.
They talk trash though. I had to sit on the couch.
We are
when I
true
came.
enemies.
They made me sit on the couch over there when I came in. They
In the corner.
told me go sit down, Groove. I tried to explain myself. They said no, go sit down. So, but it's a fun rivalry. We not like the Eagles and the Cowboys. Y'all vicious. Y'all talking about each other, mamas and all that stuff. Y'all vicious, throwing snowballs at Santa. Come on, man. But yeah. So that's my take on that. I'm a Steelers fan for life. I know that, Wayne. Y'all are two of my favorite. Yeah, back at you, baby. Appreciate you, Wayne. But yeah, J-Rock, you want to add anything to how would you invest in new equipment?
My wife was telling me what she had for dinner, so I was just.
Oh, he talking to Miss J-Rock.
What happened? About what? What I gotta
No, I
do?
said you want to add anything to that? How would you invest in new equipment? What's your take on it,
I go buy that shit. I mean, I buy it.
J-Rock?
I buy it. I don't think about nothing. I want that. I'm going to get it.
See, that's
Then I just got to figure out how I'm going to pay for it. But I'm just going to go get it.
and that's another way to do it.
DJing wise, I got everything. I don't need no more DJ stuff. I might do maybe a new digital board here and there, something. But I don't think I need anything unless my level goes
up.
I go up another level. Then I gotta invest more, and that would be on a sound note or the podcast studio type.
So something similar. You
DJing.
go by what your next, like what you need to go to the next level, or what you need to do something bigger.
But it has to make sense.
Right.
So like I have to be able to see it.
Right.
Like a lot of things, it's called being ahead of the curve. Sometimes you have to know. Just like the studio, you don't see this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You
You're
know
right.
what I mean? This was trying to think ahead of the curve, and sure enough, every DJ is doing a live now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's trying to get their media out.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way of the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Breezy said, "Fix your credit. If you need your credit fixed,
Talk to Breezy.
Breezy got you.
Get business funding. That's right, Breezy.
He get you up to 800 in 3 days.
Breezy. I'm gonna bring you on, Breezy. I'm gonna call you, nephew. That's another one of my nephews. I'm gonna call you, nephew. We need to get that on the information. I'm gonna get you on here, Breezy. We need that conversation.
Yeah, we
And
definitely
invest
yes,
all
yes.
you want. Yeah, you can once you fix your credit. You're right, and you get you a business plan. You get you. We ain't want to go that far, but I think one of the things too, money management.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Just real brief, because we about ready to go home. Real brief. Money management is, in essence, this, right? Just what it says. Learn to manage your money. So my dad taught me a long time ago. I shared that with you, didn't I? The $1 you go outside. So basically, my dad told me if I wake up and I'm broke and I go outside and I make $1, he said, you made money. He said, tomorrow you're gonna try to make 2. Next day you're gonna try to make 4. Next day you're gonna try to make 8. Now you keep doing that for 30 days. Tell me what you get. That's the mentality. I might come up short sometimes, but that's the mentality. Now once I get all this, now I have to manage it. What are my costs to keep getting up in the morning? Like, where do I stay? Phone bill, whatever. In the business, what is your overhead? You know what I mean? What do you pay for music? What do you pay for transportation? Do you got an Easy Pass? How much does it cost to get an Easy Pass? Because you do a lot of driving, because you're mobile. You want to just be able to go through Easy Pass, keep it moving. You don't want to keep getting in the long line with the cash. Do you have money in your travels or built into your pricing for parking? So all those things, like J-Rock was saying, do you have things built into your pricing to cover things? Again, learn to expand. That's the biggest thing. As you expand, my biggest thing is averages when it comes to money. So if I'm going to go over from Philly to Jersey and start DJing, I want to know what's the average DJ get paid in South Jersey, let's say, because that's closest to us. So my prices want to be right around there. Now, do I offer something more, or in J-Rock's favorite term, is my brand something that I can sell at a little bit higher price because that brand does a certain thing that the average South Jersey DJ may not do, or the average Philadelphia/South Jersey DJ. So all those are all factors. And like I said, I'm going to bring Breezy on. We're going to get into that in detail. But
He said he got a nice car.
yeah.
You see skills to,
any thoughts on or anticipation on new products featured at NAMM? The QSCs will definitely be at NAMM. That's why you got the drop. Matter of fact, the QSC, well, NAMM is actually today. Today was the first day of NAMM. What's today? 21st, yeah. Today's the first day. It runs until this Sunday. I'm going to say anything you've seen from Pioneer that's a real item is probably going to be there. A lot of times what they do, it depends on how far in production they are. So sometimes you get demos that light up, but you can't use them yet. I think you guys remember that. I think when the S9 or something came out at the AC thing.
The rain.
Rain was rain, yeah. It was all lit up and fancy looking, but you couldn't do nothing with it yet. Sometimes they have demos like that so you can see it, touch it. Sometimes they actually have a demo that may not be fully functional, but it'll do the basics. That's why a lot of times if you go into the Pioneer booth or something, you know, that mixer or controller only does certain things. It doesn't do everything that it says it can do till it comes out. With NAMM isn't DJ driven. NAMM is music driven. So 90% of NAMM is music, instruments, producer stuff, programs. Out of the last 10%, 5% is into like different speaker companies, and then 5% goes into like the DJ. That's a rough estimate of that breakdown. But I would say the new QSC line array is going to be there. Anything somebody upgraded, if you guys get emails from certain companies y'all mess with, or you seen something in a commercial somewhere, again, it may be there in full form or prototype. That's the word for when you can use it a little bit. And then demo is it just looks good. You can touch it, but it don't work yet. AC Expo is probably where most things are probably hit the ground running that you can actually use, buy, take home. Some of the stuff that's already out to be at NAMM where you can buy it, take it home. For you producer guys, they have a lot of stuff. This DAWs, computer-driven programs come with accessories, beat pads and stuff like that. That'll probably be available. I don't follow that stuff as much, so I'm just going by when we go, the things we see. There's a lot of foreign speaker companies that I'm telling you this right now, man. If you go to NAMM, go to the Dome. The Dome is where they do the sound. It's not a battle. It's more like a show. Now last year, who was it? It was. I gotta look at my pictures. I can't remember. Was it RCF? It wasn't RCF. It was somebody on RCF level, but another name. But they took the whole. It might have been Das. No, it wasn't Das. It was somebody because it was 2 words. I'm gonna find out from my pictures and I'll put it on Facebook who it was. But anyway,
Technology?
who?
DB Tech.
It might have been DB Tech. But they had a small concert system and a big one. And when I tell you, it just blew you away. Me and Cut sitting there, and we was like, it was just amazing. And they had stuff flying, they had stuff on it. The Dome is the stuff. Now, usually the Dome has other companies get in, and it's not a sound battle. It's basically a sound off, so to speak.
So it's a battle.
Yeah, there's no trophy.
It's a trophy.
Well, I mean, you get bragging rights, I guess.
No, whoever sound the best, he go sell the best.
Not everybody in there, because them things is woo.
Yeah, but that's
about European and German companies. Oh my God, they sound systems.
Yeah, but NAMM is more geared for the company.
Yeah,
not for the
yeah, it's not for
consumer.
Us. Yeah, that's true too. So, but that experience, that would give you a good. What J-Rock was talking about, listening with your ear. Like, it's almost like you go in there and you hear some of the stuff you really can't afford. Like, no matter how many banks you rob, you're still not going to be able to buy this right now. But you want to get your system sound as close to that as possible. So it's things like that. But NAMM is a good experience. To me, you got to go. Well, if you're just DJ-driven and speaker-driven, you could probably go for, like, one time and see everything in that realm. But if you're into music and just that whole fascination of everything music, you got to go NAMM at least 2, maybe 3 times, especially now, because now it's full NAMM. It's like a week long. But it's from today, and I think the last day is Sunday. It comes every January. It's in Anaheim, California. You have to get invited in. You can't buy a ticket on Eventbrite. You have to get invited in. So somebody has to invite you in.
Judge, we going to Cali for the East Coast, the West Coast DJ Cafe. So we got chapters in California, and we're going out there to do an East Coast, East to West DJ Cafe.
We could do that, Judge. A trip to NAMM also. We could work on that for next year because, like I said, it starts today, so we out the realm for the day. But we can start on it for next year. See who I want to go, and we can work some things out. See if we can get you guys signed up and get in.
That's June,
and we can go through. June is the West Coast to J-Rock stop. So that's the California trip that we could all get involved in and go support, bring our laptops and just jump on somebody's system and do what Philly do. But also know West Coast is coming because they do some stuff too.
They ain't coming, they can't. Oh, damn. Pause.
Lido said baseball.
Fuck that up.
Baseballs are real good friends of ours, believe it or not. We just good friends from the first time we actually met each other. Baseballs is a beast, but Baseballs is to me, Baseballs is why. Meaning, as a mobile DJ, why do I want baseball system? I have no way to play it. You know what I mean? Like, even what you do, you may be limited. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just because, like J-Rock said, in order to get baseballs to sound how J-Rock's RCF system sound, or even Rashid's system sound, you're doing baseballs a disservice. Mm-hmm. But now, if you was doing a festival like Coachella, then baseball's your friend. Now you can go over there and you can turn up, as they say. You turn up. But to me, baseballs is not a mobile DJ's sound system. Not if you're doing weddings, birthday parties, you up and down, doing some barbecues here or there. Even if you're doing small festivals, RCF would probably be better and more cost effective. Just because
yes, sir, we out.
Baseballs is huge. But hey Sean, I'm gonna call you Breezy. We're going to get you on here, talk about that, getting that credit right, man, for these investments. But listen, guys, we love the questions. We went a little bit over, but we had a good time. The next one will be 3rd Tuesday in February. And guess what season's coming up? Aqua Boogie, baby. That would be the 17th?
Oh, I'll be back by then.
course, the record store is the 15th. Oh yeah, Just Cruise Off 45 Vinyl Saturday next month, February 15th. I'm trying to get out my phone so I can tell you the dates of this stuff. All right, so the next groovy moment will be the 18th of February.
Okay, I'll be back.
Next 45 Saturday will be the 15th of February. When's the next cafe?
Next cafe is the
Is
20th.
it this Monday coming?
The 27th.
This Monday coming,
Yeah.
27th.
6 to 10. Right
6
here in
to
the
10.
studio.
The young boys is running it. They holding it down. They doing their thing. It's a vibe.
Me and Fat Cat will be back on Thursdays.
Yeah, I was going to say, when is that? Is that this month?
February 13th.
Oh, we got Tim Jones
We got
coming.
Tim Nice.
Tim Nice coming up.
Yeah,
Let him
coming
up.
up. We'll talk about
That'll be a month before the battle. The battle's in March, right?
Yeah, talk about the Baltimore Blend Battle.
Yeah. Philly, can they still get in it? They still got a chance to get in?
Philly don't want to do no Blend Battle.
Yeah, get in it, Philly. You know what I mean?
Tried,
Look, T
and
Nice
tried.
went down there and housed that joint 2 years ago
With flip-flops on.
with flip flops on. Yeah. Yep. He did
Bang.
his thing. And last year we found out there's some new stars out there. That boy Popo. Oh, listen, he might be the Popo for real. Yeah.
Nah, it's
It's a different.
that's what we need to talk about. That's why he come out and talk about, because it's about how the blend battles evolved and what they are today.
Okay, so the growth.
2, 3, 4 years ago was nothing like this.
No.
So all
So
the
that's
ones that were able
February
to get
13th.
into it 3, 4 years ago, they can't get into it now.
Got to get your game up.
Yeah, it's
So
a
that's
whole different
February
beast.
13th. What else we got coming up on the cafe?
I don't know. I'm gonna be going for a minute.
So J Rock going on vacation. That's what I did last month. Went on vacation for a little bit for December. Enjoyed my Merry Christmases.
There you go.
But Just Cruise Off 45 Vinyl Saturday, February 15th. Time for another groovy moment on the 18th.
Oh, you want to put the
February.
flyers up? Oh, I gotta go over there.
Yeah, J Rock got to go put the flyers up. We got to pay the bills, as they say. Let me see. With blindfolds, salute family, learned something tonight. Glad you did, Lito. Everybody that tuned in, appreciate you from all avenues. You can go back later on. J Rock gonna put this up. You can go back if you missed something. Hopefully we touch base with it again. Our disclaimer is we're not professional techs. We're not professional or licensed. What's it called? That business managers or anything like that. This is just experiences that we want to share with you guys. Ways that we found to do it a little bit better, a little bit cleaner, a little bit wiser. And if that helps anybody go to the next level or get some things together, then that's why we're here. When we come back on the 18th, we're going to have a guest. It may be Breezy. I got to talk to him. But I got another guest lined up who I've been trying to get on here. Hopefully I will be able to. And we're going to do what we do. You know what I mean? Again, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, man. Wolo in the building. J-Rock, we get ready to run through the sponsors and do those things. I can't see any questions, so J-Rock done changed the screen on me. But February 13th, J-Rock and Fat Cat coming back with Tim Nice. Gonna get that info right about the Baltimore Blend Battle, the changes, the history, you know. Make sure you jump on, ask Tim some questions. He'll be glad to let you know what they're hitting for. Shout out to the young fella that just passed away from Baltimore. We love you, man. You know, any DJ that goes up and get their wings, man, nothing but a 10 scratch salute. What's his name, J-Rock? I forget his name. The brother that just passed away. No, down Baltimore. Baltimore's a big guy. I forget his name. Man, I just saw the post too. But anyway, much love and shout out to you, man. 10 scratch salute. Definitely 10 scratch salute to Gary O. Look, man, pray for each other. If you got to go to the doctor, find out what's going on with you, do that first. Before you buy any equipment, go make sure that your beater's beating right and your blood's flowing in the right direction and all that good stuff. You see me, I done gained some weight sitting home for COVID, so I got to do this shit. I got to do this for myself, too. You know. Super Funk Regulator DJ CeeLo. CeeLo. Super Funk Regulator DJ CeeLo. Mad respect, man. Nothing but love for you and your family. Rest in peace. Rest in music. And like I said, any DJs out there, man, we getting older, man. We don't bounce when we fall.
stuff like that, man. So get checked out. Make sure your ups is up. We don't want no downs. But with that, I think J-Rock ready so we can roll through these sponsors. So I'm going to start out in order. We're going to start out with Super Bad Slides. Those slides you can get from DJ Doodles, my brother. Those slides are what you need to play 45s, wherever you want to play 45s at. Again, I always say you can try to sound like Doodle, but them slides will help you get close. Up next, we got Just Grooves All 45 and Vinyl Saturday. That's where we use the slides at every third Saturday of the month. Sovereign Records in Doylestown. Come through. It's a vibe. We play nothing but 45s and vinyl, or all vinyl, 45, 12 inches. If you want to get on, DM me or hit me up when I put the post up. See if we can get you in there. Always got some slots. We usually have open decks from 5:30 to 6. So even if you just come through about 5 o'clock, you can jump on 5:30. Bring a little. We call it a clip. Bring a little clip with you. Bring some vinyl with you. We get you on. And at Sovereign Records, Just Grooves All 45 Vinyl Saturdays, where you can get the Just Groove T-shirt. Started this in the pandemic. Again, I wasn't trying to make $1 million with it, but, I just go by what my dad said. If you want to do something, do it. And if I never did it, I wouldn't have did it. So you can get these shirts at the Just Grooves All 45 Vinyl Saturday. Regular sizes up to XXX, or $20. Anything over XXX, $25. If you catch me in motion, I usually have 1 or 2 in the car. So if I got your size, if it's a XXX, it's $25. If it's a XXX and under, it's $20, and you can get yours too. Got to shout out my comic book, my man Maurice Mander, Surrey and Seed. We working on turning this thing into an anime film. Things are going good. Hopefully 2025 is when it'll come out. But you can go to surryanseed.com. That's SURIANSEED.com. Pick up some merch. This is number 0 that's being shown to you. I'm in this comic book. I'm in the storyline. Dude called Legend. I'm part of police force to be fighting variants. And go read the story and everything. Get the comic book, whatever, and you'll find out what a variant is and what I do in the book. And we got to shout out, see this hat on my head, PV DJ, the PV DJ Takeover, PV Electronics. That's my sponsor. That's where, I was able to do a lot of things, man, a lot of big things through PV. We still doing big things. Check out our new battery-powered, I want to say it's a 6-inch battery-powered. It's called the Solo. Similar to the, what was that one that came out last year, a couple of years ago? Similar to the, I can't forget the name of it. The not JBL, what's the one? The Bose. Similar to the Bose, long battery life, ridiculous sound, multiple inputs. It's a nice piece of equipment. It's not real expensive, but we did a demo on it before. We're going to do another demo, a more professional demo. We did one when we first got them out. Go to pv.com, check out gear or check out products. Should be up there now. You can get you one. You want a good deal on it, call DJ Cutlass. He'll be able to work with our rep, Paulie V. Get you a good deal on that. Awesome piece, man. Might bring it to the next cafe so you guys can hear it. And last but not least, and never last but not least, Wolo Entertainment. You see the shirt? Which way I supposed to go? That way. See the shirt? Yeah. We Only Live Once Entertainment. Shout out to my homies, my co-founders, DJ Nate G, Spinbad, the original Spinbad. Man, I'm just grateful, man. We on year 25, man. We started in 2000. And give me chills just thinking about it, man. It's a blessing, man. We've been on a ride for a minute. And, we only live once, so make it do what it do until you can't no more, I guess. I don't know. I'm running out of words. That means it's time to go. I appreciate my co-host, J-Rock, busting it up with me. Appreciate you guys tuning in. All the questions, man, all the laughs, all the love. And, yes, this proves to you that Ravens and Steelers fans can coexist in the same room and get along. With that, we out, man. See you on the B-side. J-Rock, give me my theme music.